Right now at noon, Jasper County detectives release images of a suspect who robbed the Casey's on Stone's Corner and is asking the public to help.
And we've got another mild day across the area, but the mild weather won't last forever. We're going to talk about how warm it's going to be today and the changes on the way coming up.
Thousands of flights are delayed or canceled after an outage at the FAA. We look at the impact on passengers nationwide.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Detectives released security footage from an armed robbery Sunday night in Airport Drive. This is KOAM News at noon. I'm Tanya Bach. Topping our first 7 minutes, new images released that show the suspect pointing a gun at the store clerk. Jasper County detectives are sharing these images from the Stone's Corner Casey's. Now, the suspect robbed the store at gunpoint just before 10 p.m. Sunday night. Authorities say the robber demanded cash and left, and then got into a car and went east towards Webb City. No one was injured. If you have any information, contact the Jasper County Sheriff. In Cherokee County, authorities search for 2 suspects who burglarized a convenience store in Riverton, Kansas over the weekend. Police say the suspects used a hammer to enter the Quick Stop on Route 66 in Riverton just after 3 a.m. Saturday morning. The suspects were also seen at the store a few hours earlier in an early 2000s model Toyota Tacoma crew cab truck. Witnesses say one man was wearing a black hoodie, jeans, gray Hey Dude shoes, and a blue and white Under Armour drawstring bag. If you have any information, you're encouraged to contact the Cherokee County Sheriff. Well, Mother Nature is about to steal our warmer temperatures. Chris Warner joins us with how much time we have left to enjoy them.
Now, we don't have a lot of time left, unfortunately, but we have at least the rest of this afternoon and into the early evening. As you see from our tower cam at 7th and Range Line, you can look off in the distance. You can even look up here locally. Clouds building in as promised, and they will continue to increase until we're just plain old cloudy out there and there will be no blue sky left. MoDOT camera, I-44 and Range Line also looking pretty good so far. Still got plentiful sunshine. Still quite warm across the area. So yesterday we made it up to 66. And we started at 29, if you can believe that. But here's our averages. So our low, pretty close to normal, but our highs well off the mark. It's a 22-degree difference, but just shy of the record by about 10 degrees. And thankfully, we're not in danger of breaking any record lows at this point. All right, here's where our temperatures sit right now. We're at 61 in Joplin, 55 Lamar, 58 in Neosho, up to 59 in Miami, 62 in Chetopa, 59 Parsons, and 60 in Chanute. So very nice, pleasant, spring-like day out there, but that is going to change. So again, as we go through the rest of the day and into the afternoon and evening hours, clouds will increase. We will become cloudy, reaching that high of about 63 degrees, but enjoy this while you can, because at least over the course of the next 2 or 3 days, it's not going to be this nice. We're going to break down the forecast and what changes are coming here in just a few minutes.
All right, well, the price of eggs has skyrocketed, and that's impacting local businesses. According to the USDA, the wholesale price for a dozen eggs jumped 60 cents. That's before any markup at the grocery store. Experts say the price increase stems from avian flu cases in the United States. While no cases were reported in our area, people are still feeling the effects from the price hike. One Southwest Missouri chicken owner says demand is high.
So around New Year's, everyone started wanting eggs. There was a big increase. Within the last 2 weeks, I've sold 12 dozen.
Page no. USDA officials say wholesale egg prices are starting to drop, but it will take some time before you start seeing the lower prices at the grocery store. Well, Kansas Governor Laura Kelly's Axe the Food Tax plan lowers the food sales tax with the goal of eventually eliminating it. On January 1st, the food sales tax dropped from 6.5% to 4%. But that change only applies to non-prepared food items. For businesses that sell a mixture of prepared and non-prepared food, like at Circle's Pecan and Country Store on Highway 400, it gets a little tricky. Most of the confusion comes from understanding what is considered prepared and non-prepared, according to the state's guidelines. Food is considered prepared when it is heated by the seller, mixing the food for sale as a single item, or providing utensils with the food. Prepared food is not granted the reduced food sales tax.
A package of mints that's already prepackaged, that has a barcode and has a nutritional label, is considered a reduced tax rate item. But a package of candy, like chocolate pecans, that we repackage to offer, as a value-added item here, is a full tax rate.
Circles also makes pies, and even if they are baked, as long as they're sold without utensils, they qualify for the lower tax rate. Well, the FAA lifts the ground stop that's responsible for major delays at U.S. airports nationwide today. The agency says flights are resuming gradually. It follows an overnight outage of a computer system that provides safety information to flight crews. Michael George reports from LaGuardia Airport in New York.
The dreaded delayed sign greeted travelers as they arrived at airports across the country Wednesday morning after the FAA ordered all departing flights grounded for several hours following an outage of one of its computer systems.
This morning when we woke up, we heard the news, so we thought we're just going to rent a car and not fly.
The agency says the problem was an outage to its Notice to Air Mission System, or NOTAMs. It provides safety information to pilots. President Biden says he was briefed on the situation by Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg.
I just spoke with Buttigieg. They don't know what the cause is.
President responded, "We don't know," when asked about the possibility of a cyber attack, though the White House earlier said there's no evidence of a cyber attack. While the ground stop has been lifted, there's still a ripple effect that could last throughout the day as things slowly return to normal. Thousands of flights have been delayed and hundreds canceled.
We're going to be optimistic, but, hopefully they get everything up and running.
We've been delayed 3 times.
Tamara Williams is trying to get to Miami for a connecting flight to Costa Rica.
There are no more flights leaving today that would get us there on time, nor tomorrow, nor Friday.
This is the latest headache for U.S. travelers following flight cancellations over the holidays because of winter storms and a massive Southwest Airlines service disruption. Michael George, CBS News, LaGuardia Airport, New York.
Just last Monday, the FAA had a computer glitch that forced it to limit traffic in the Florida airspace. That's a look at today's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes. Up next on KOAM News at noon, why some in the UK are rolling their eyes over Prince Harry's late night television appearance. And later, we're making a creamy mushroom risotto in the Mr. Food Test kitchen. Prince Harry made surprising new revelations on CBS's The Late Show with Stephen Colbert last night, including that he watches a popular show about the royals. So do I, Harry. But in Britain, not everyone is thrilled about his performance. Holly Williams reports.
Prince Harry was on friendly turf with an audience in his adopted home.
America is a great place to live.
But for many on this side of the pond, the spectacle of the 5th in line to the British throne chatting on late-night TV,
which was a cushion,
using salty language while knocking back tequila, and even hamming it up with Tom Hanks is a little jarring. In the UK this morning, some are rolling their eyes.
And we've got the high life with Harry, who seems to be party.
He's gone all Hollywood. But in New York, Harry had them rolling in the aisles.
One would do, right? A little bit like group therapy.
They joked about Harry's voyage of self-discovery through therapy after a royal upbringing which he says was short on physical affection.
Why don't y'all hug each other? Why can't you just hug each other?
By the way, I'm a big hugger now.
There were serious moments, including when they discussed Harry's rift with his brother, Prince William.
If your mother were still alive, do you ever think about how she might handle this moment? We
wouldn't have got to this moment, but there is no way that the distance between my brother and I would be the same.
And speaking of royal history, Harry even confessed that he watches The Crown.
Do you fact check it while you watch it?
Yes, I do, actually.
Holly Williams, CBS News, London.
Still to come on the KOAM News at noon, Mr. Food.
Grab your culinary passport and your appetite, because today we're making a dish from northern Italy. It's risotto, and it's creamy, easy to love, and so versatile.
But first, this forecast isn't as easy to love as that creamy risotto. We'll tell you about the big changes on the way when we come back. We've got just a little bit longer on this mild weather before things start to really cool down for us. The good news is it'll be brief, but the other side of this is these are actually temperatures that are going to be pushing a little closer to normal that we'll see over the next 2 or 3 days. Right now, 7th and range line, you can see we still have sunshine out there, but you can also see the cloud cover beginning to increase across the area. So as promised, we will start to get mostly cloudy and then eventually just plain old cloudy. MoDOT camera at I-44 and range line looking good so far. As we always say, if the cars are moving, then that's a good sign for sure. We are nice and warm though. Another decent day out there. We have partly cloudy skies for the time being. 61 in Joplin with a north-northeast breeze at 7. And that's not the only warm spot. We're all doing pretty good. We're 59 in Monette and Carthage, 58 in Neosho, 54 in Nevada, 60 Chanute, 59 Parsons in Pittsburgh and Miami, and up to 62 in Chatopa right now. Still on track for a high of about 63 degrees today. And again, as we head to the 2 o'clock hour, you see we switch those mostly cloudy skies. And then after that, we start dipping into just plain old cloudy skies. But check out these temperatures even through 8 o'clock. Still not too bad out there. And if you're planning an evening out, it's going to stay decent up until about, say, 9 o'clock, 9, 10 o'clock, and that's when we're going to start to see some light rain showers move in. Now, between 10 and 11, we're still warm enough that this is going to be rain-type precipitation that's going to start building in, but that will change as the evening progresses. In fact, we're going to drop back down to a low of 35. Now, some of us to the south are going to be a little bit warmer than that. Some of us to the north are going to be a little bit colder than that, but 35 is about the average here. So because of this temperature swing, we're looking at that possibility of some light rain, perhaps a light wintry mix, and perhaps some light snow. So let's talk about totals out of all of this. Now, we need the rain, but unfortunately, this system not carrying a ton of energy with it in terms of the precipitation department. As you can see, best we can muster is maybe 1/10 to 2/10 of an inch of rain. We're all going to get a little something, but it's really not going to be enough to make a difference. However, the flip side of that coin is snow totals are going to be relatively low. All of this white area, which is a good chunk of our region, could see a dusting up to possibly 1 inch. But on the average here, we're looking at best at a dusting of snow. Now, that said, that's still going to lead to slick spots on the road as we head into tomorrow morning, so do be cautious. This will really start getting going, like I said, about 10, 11 o'clock, and then we'll have it last through a good portion of the morning tomorrow before it'll eventually clear out. However, there's another element that's going to be a part of all of this. Wind gusts. As we head into early tomorrow morning, late tonight, early tomorrow morning, we start looking at wind gusts anywhere from 30 to possibly 45 miles an hour. It will stay breezy through the majority of Thursday. In fact, it won't really be until Friday early morning that the winds finally begin to calm down for us. We're only up to 41 tomorrow. Now, you factor in a 40-mile-an-hour gust, and we're looking at wind chills that could be back in the upper teens and lower 20s. We're 41 Friday, and then we do eventually start to warm up once again to above normal as we head into the start of next week. In fact, as you can see, through next week, we hold on to the 50s. Now, we have a few additional stray shower chances Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday, but otherwise, we go back to being about 10 to 15 degrees above normal. So just a brief return to normal, so it's going to feel really cold out there for 2 or 3 days, and then it'll be mild again.
Yeah, well, it's definitely going to be a change for sure.
It's going to be a big change in temperatures compared to what we've seen. So that's why even though 41, 49, that's about normal, it is going to feel frigid. But with tomorrow morning's winds and the winds through Thursday, as I said, we could have wind chills upper teens, lower 20s. So bundle up for sure.
All right. Thanks, Chris. Well, we take this time to honor today's four-state hero, Purple Heart recipient Joseph Smith in the U.S. Army. The Ketchum, Oklahoma native joined the Company A, 413th Regiment, 104th Infantry in 1941. Corporal Smith was captured and ended in Germany in 1944 and became a prisoner of war until 1947. Smith also earned the Bronze Star and the Cross of Valor. To Corporal Joseph Smith, we thank you, our four-state hero. Today we're making an oh-so-creamy dish that originated in Italy and later became popular in the United States. The best part, though, it's easy to make. Howard shows us how to create a creamy mushroom risotto in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
What do you say I share a recipe with you that in the past you may have been intimidated by? It's risotto, and it originates in northern Italy. Over the years, it's become crazy popular here in the States. And once you find out how easy it is to make, you'll wonder why you didn't make it sooner. The first thing you want to do is warm some chicken broth in a saucepan, and we'll come back to this in a sec. Now, in a large saucepan, we saute some onions and mushrooms in a little butter until they're tender. Then we stir in some arborio rice, garlic, and a bit of wine. And cook that until the wine is absorbed. Now here's the trick to making creamy risotto. Slowly add in the warm chicken broth, 1 cup at a time, stirring it until it's absorbed. Right before serving, stir in a bit more butter, some Parmesan cheese, parsley, and pepper, and it's done. See, I told you it was easy. And once you take your first forkful, I have a pretty good feeling that this will become part of your monthly dinner routine. You could even add some cooked shrimp or chicken to it. To get the recipe for our creamy mushroom risotto, all you have to do is visit our website. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a Northern Italian way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
We can find this recipe along with a lot more good food from the Mr. Food Test Kitchen online. Just go to our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. Here's a look at our 4-state market prices.
All right, one more mild day for us for a little bit, then system burnt comes in. Light snow, light rain, light wintry mix. No significant accumulations though tonight, but down to 35, 41 Thursday and Friday, 49 Saturday. Then we start to warm up as we head into the next week ahead.
All right, what do we have coming up tonight at 5? Down?
A lot at 5 for starters. If you take dietary or herbal supplements, buyer beware. Cardiologists report a recent surge in heart problems among people in their 20s and 30s. We're going to have that story for you in Health Watch. Plus, do you have enough money saved for retirement? A Joplin woman wants to make sure her 75-year-old co-worker has enough funds to quit working and enjoy his retirement. And Freeman Health System hosts a fitness fair to connect employees to health and fitness resources. Hope you join us for those stories. A lot more, of course. It's coming up today on KOAM News at 5.
All right, thank you, Dow. Thanks for joining us for KOAM News at noon. We'll see you right back here at 5 o'clock.